I found this cat, and it's CC attribution, so it can actually be sold, used commercially. And the download will be the FBX version. That's the original. And we'll use Bento Buddy to convert it with. I've already tested this out, so it works. I just wanted to make sure that there's no strange bones in there that make it complicated, or that the item itself isn't animated. Sometimes objects are animated instead of the bones, and that's for another video. It's the Toon Cat. I extracted the zip file, created these two files here. The source is where the FBX is, and the textures will have the single texture. I'll just load this, and I realized at first it was too big to start with. So what I do is I create a basic rig. You can barely see it's right there. Choose the animal here. Scale it down until it looks like some size it ought to be. That's good enough, I guess. And I delete the rig. It's just for reference. Now I want to map the bones. So I'll go to Template, Creator, Editor, Visual Snap Mapper, and I'll just hit Action and see what I get. And I get a rig. So I'm going to wiggle a couple of bones around to see what they do. That doesn't do anything. Those are effectively IK bones probably, but they weren't used in the FBX file. That's the root bone. We won't use that. Those are going to snap back into place afterwards anyway. So it looks like we have some ears, some eyes, a jaw we can utilize. Obviously tailbone. I'm going to just bring that forward. Let's see what we're doing. You'll see that the spine changes direction. So the first bone in the direction change is probably going to be identified as the pelvis. We'll use that as the pelvis. Then chest, torso, chest, neck, and head. So this looks pretty simple. So let's get started with that. I'll first choose the pelvis, identify that as the pelvis, and say map these bones. You'll notice that the animation survived here. Then we have the torso, the chest. Make sure it's the chest here. Map these bones. Then we'll have the neck. Yep. And head bone. Now we don't see the ears yet because we didn't show the entire skeleton, but let's just map what we do have visible right now. And that will be 1, 2, 3 front leg bones. So start from the tip, and we'll walk down from the hip here. 1, 2, 3, and I'll use the fill tool to get this done. I'll say there's a chain limit of 3. Let's move down here a little. And I've already chosen my bones. Fill. Get that out of the way. Now you can't see the full line of the bone, which would be normally red, because I scaled the target model. And you'll see them somewhere, little pieces probably, but the blue indicates that it's mapped. So do this again. Let's check these 1, 2, and 3 because I want to make sure I select the end bone for fill. You can do it manually, but fill is kind of cool. Now we've run out of logical bones, so let's go show all bones. And we'll go to the tail, I guess. And that's the first bone, the tail. How many tail bones do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So set my chain length to 5. And I'll count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I'm at the right segments, and fill. And we'll do the hind legs. We'll count those bones, those that are usable. We know that they're usable because the mesh deforms when we pull on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll count down there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect number of bones. Chain length of 4, and fill. Do the same with the other side. Just like that. And we know that there's an exact number of bones in the hind legs, so just hit fill. Now let's see what else we got. Ears, eyes, and jaw. We'll find the jaw somewhere. Doesn't really matter. We can use any bone here in the face, I think. Just find something logical. Chin. But if you want to do any serious animation, you probably want to find a logical jawbone. Maybe we want to add some bones to this later on. Map these bones. And we have the eyes. Well, let's do the ears first, because I'm going to simplify the rig to grab the eyes easier. That's the ear here. Map these bones. There it is. And then I'll simplify the rig. You probably want to use the alt eyes, but if this is animation, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to restore the bone view, reset the bone view, so that I can see the eyes easier. And there's the eye there, the right eye. Map these bones. And map these bones. Now, this is all set. If you save the file, which I did earlier, but I'll save it again when I was testing it. This is what ToonCat. I'll just save it as untitled. You can also save the map, but the map is already saved on the rig. You can call this anything you want, ToonCat, whatever. But the map is already saved on the rig as long as you saved your Blender file. I'm going to reset the stage. It doesn't ruin anything. It just detaches the tool. Now, I know that there's a rest pose on this armature that is not represented in the animation itself. You can tell that by hitting edit, and you'll see it has a nice little neutral stance. And I want to utilize that as the first frame. And Bento Buddy has a tool to do that under animation, or reference pose features, and just click create reference pose. Now the first frame has the reference pose in it. And we'll be looping from the second frame now. And after we retarget, Bento Buddy's animation tool will know exactly where the reference frame is, and it'll skip it because of the tool we used. It put a marker on the rig and told it that there was a reference frame on frame 1. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to just export the mesh. It's a simpler process. Mesh export, and this is a mapped mesh. Export mapped mesh, although we can convert it and wear it as an avatar, but we're just going to go to the simple way right now. Export mapped mesh, and it will be just my standard test file. Now I'll select the rig, character tools. We have to retarget the animation. You'll notice that there is an animation on it. It's a walk cycle. We really just need to attach the bones first, and we want the bones to attach directly to the animal, and it's not a humanoid, so it's a very custom rig. So we need to click on the glue factor here and then hit action, and now we have a Second Life compatible rig attached to the non-compatible rig. so we can export an animation. And we go to the animation panel, and you'll notice that some details were filled in for us. There's the end frame is 22. It already did that for us. We'll increase the priority just for later on if we want to wear this as a mesh. Loop animation. You'll notice that the start is 2 because it knows we have a reference frame that we put in using Bento Buddy, and we just export the animation. So now we have both materials to utilize in Second Life. And here we go. Okay, now I'm going to upload those items. Do the animation first, and then the mesh. Lowest LOD is from the 0. Rigging is skins and weights and include joint positions. So we upload it. I like to create an anchor here. Makes it easy to work with. I'll drop the cat down, shift click the anchor and link, and of course we want to make it animesh. So now they're together. But I also want to make the cube edit linked, slightly invisible or translucent, just for the sake of well, you would probably do that completely translucent or invisible rather when you're in production, but I just want it to be mostly like that. I'm also going to upload the texture, and there's only one texture that came with it, and I already did this so I know where the texture is. It's right in here. And I'm going to add the texture to the cat. If I hit edit length and I shift click on the box, it will exclude the box from the selection. And I can drop the texture on. Now I need my animation. Not edit length to make sure because I need to make sure that it goes into the root. I want to include my animation and the script that comes with Bento Buddy. And all I do is click on it and it should start working. And that's the end of it.